Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are in a war with Britain, trying to get a bunch of territory in the Caribbean. We are invading Jamaica. This is our last target province, or target state. And if we can get a hold of it, we can win, as long as we don't keep making the invasions over here. I don't know what the name of this island is. Obviously, it's part of the state of Jamaica. But I don't know its name. But if we can get there, then Britain will lose their... Okay, no, we're winning over there. Alright, alright. So if we can get there, then Britain will lose their war support protection, and that will make things a lot easier for us in the long term. Britain's sending more units. This is an army. Where are you going? Well, not somewhere that is going to matter, I don't think. Because... Wait. I'm trying to invade Ecuador, right? And your war goals... Oh, you're trying to transfer a bunch of places. Right, very good, very good. 52%. Come on, give me a win here. If I increase their supply level... Alright, that should be worth it. It's going to cost me more money, but it's going to be worth it as well. Belgium has bailed out of the war. Excellent. Chile is invading Patagonia. Gold is depleted in Colorado. The rich mineral deposits in Colorado have been drained. Mines are being shuttered, and all the prospectors who moved in are beginning to drift away in search of the next big strike. Alluvial gold dried up. Miners, go home. River dried up due to miner activity. Shafts condemned as threat to life. Enter at own peril. Trespassers will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. Unfortunate, or we can't just let them leave. Unfortunate reduces migration attraction by 50%. We cannot just let them leave, reduces it by 20% instead of 50%. But makes the laborers more radical. I'm going to do the second one. Because I want myself some tasty, tasty gold mines. And there sure are gold mines in Colorado. I'm going to throw them in at the top of the queue after all the military industry that I'm currently building. I need to cycle it again because I'm a big doofus. And there we go. This should help solve our munitions and artillery shortages. And hopefully that'll make the war effort go a little better. Oh, we're losing this one. Invade Jamaica. You have a huge numerical advantage. Raising concerns. The yeoman farmers have expressed their concerns about government decisions clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. Choosing is always hard, not because the decision is difficult to make, but because the consequences can be a bit inconvenient. Rumors are spreading like smoke from a factory, staining the clean air of the United States of America with a dense and vicious poison. This needs to be addressed. Happier yeoman farmers, unhappy industrialists, or they need to accept we can't always please everyone. I'm going to do the second one. It's going to make the yeoman farmers salty, but it's also going to make them weaker, which is not a problem. They are outside the government. And that's what matters for now. France has decided to go after Burma to just steal a bunch of states. Ugh. Oh, I don't want to lose this landing progress. No! No! Alright, so we're at 39%. Burma backs down. Interesting. Stop invading over there. Invade the state. Invade the island the state is named after. Okay, so they are getting landing progress over here. I think... I'm going to send the army of Florida over there to guard Ecuador. I think they'll be able to get there without a problem. This is a risk, but I think our overwhelming numerical superiority in the Dixie HQ will make this viable. Alright, Allied fleets are stopping up this naval invasion. That is a success, 65% landing progress. Come on, give me a good battle. Give me a good battle. Ottoman Empire has bailed out of the war. Wonderful. That is great. Excuse me? Ivory Coast Front. Oh, for Pete. None of that matters. Are they even trying to steal that territory? They're not even. I could not possibly... That could not impact my strategy less. Alright, 30 to 13. This is a very good battle. Again, if we can get a hold of Jamaica, Britain loses their war support protection, and then we'll be in a great position. Almost there. We need to win one more battle. Huh. 2 naval invasions heading into Venezuela. Alright, we are successfully defending Ecuador. Still a naval invasion in DC, I don't need to worry about that. And we are winning the battle for Montego Bay. Very good. And that gives us control of Jamaica. So, I am going to put the Army of Observation in Venezuela. And that means Britain loses their war support protection. So now I have a shot at getting peace with them. They're losing war support at a rate of 3 per week, which is not too bad at all. So I think if I just hunker down and don't make any mistakes, any really bad mistakes, I should be good to go. My market is doing okay at this stage. I'm going to finish out these gold mines and then pause construction again just to save the cash. Sorry about that, Cuba, but let's focus on the war, and then all the development you desire will be yours. Obviously, they've taken this territory, but that doesn't concern me one bit. I still need to bash away at them for a few more weeks. They've got another 10 weeks or so. We are winning in Ecuador here, but if I can continue to successfully hold them off, and they're unable to take all of their objectives, because again, like, they could take El Salvador. It wouldn't be a problem if they took one of their objectives, because I've got the ability to hold. Like, they've only got 5 more weeks here until their people demand peace. Legislation imposed on IT refused. IT has refused our demand that they enact universal suffrage. The ambassador returns, bearing the news of rejection. They chose pride over progress, he reports. The silence that follows lies heavy in the council chamber. How ought we to react to such insubordination? Well, I think the answer is obvious. Let's reduce their autonomy. Oh, not like that. Let's decrease their autonomy. This is going to make all my other subjects skittish, but I can live with that. But we won't do it yet. We'll wait until the end of the war, because the war is within spitting distance of being completed. And if I can complete it, that will be a huge coup for me. So my turtling strategy has basically worked. Let me see, reactionary revolt in Nova Scotia. It'd be pretty funny if I aligned in that, but I'm not going to. And that should... Oh, not quite. We're getting there. We're getting there. Ooh, hand-cranked machine gun, just in time for the end of the war. Wonderful. Alright, so now Great Britain will accept all of these, all of our conditions. I will propose... And that is the end of the war. So, we've gotten a lot done. We've seized Guatemala. So Guatemala is primarily Afro-Caribbean and Greek. Interesting. Very interesting. Cultural traits Hellenic and European heritage. How curious. What a curious situation. That having been said, I think it just makes sense. This is part of Guatemala, the state. So I'm going to have to hand this territory to Guatemala. I think it just... There's no other way to... There's no other reasonable way to do things. American Guatemala. I'm not going to do it yet, though, because their liberty desire is very low, and I would like to get their liberty desire lower. So... Actually, yes, this gives me opportunity. So first, Jamaica, I'm going to reduce your autonomy. That's going to bump up their liberty desire, but that's okay. Guatemala, I'm going to reduce your autonomy as well. Is this smart? I think it is. We'll reduce subject payments from both of these countries because the cash is not really why I'm doing this. Now, Guatemala, your liberty desire is substantial. I'm going to hand you the chunk of the state that you're already comprised of. And that'll be just fine. So, let's take a quick look at our populations here. Jamaica is predominantly Afro-Caribbean. They are African heritage and Anglophone. So let me see. Cuba is Caribeño, Hispanophone European heritage. Hispanophone and European heritage? Interesting. I don't know why I thought Cuba would turn into an African heritage state. Let me see. What's the predominant ethnic makeup of Cuba, the country? Caribeño, Hispanophone. Okay, no, they're only 15% Afro-Caribeño. Interesting. All right. So Jamaica is Afro-Caribbean. That's African heritage and Anglophone. Now, IT has as accepted culture its primary culture is Afro-Antillean, which is African heritage and Francophone, and they don't have an African Anglo culture as one of their primaries, which means that if they're under national supremacy, which they currently are, if I grant Jamaica to IT, that is not going to be a very high level of acceptance. So what I'm going to do is Louisiana has, as its primary cultures, Cajun and Afro-Antillean. Both of these cultures are Francophone. Interesting. Francophone European heritage, Francophone African heritage. Hold on, I made a mistake here. Because, well, they're at least under racial segregation, so they'll get 50 acceptance from sharing just the heritage trait. I may need to make Louisiana go to total separation, or go to, well, they are under total separation, though, so that'll be okay. So, because I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass Jamaica over to Louisiana, unless I can get, let me see, what about the Bahamas? Bahamas are also Afro-Caribbean, which is Anglophone African heritage. If I can release these states as a puppet state, which I might be able to do, that would be perfect. Because then I've got some, because then I've got places where my Francophone African heritage pops can live, and where my Anglophone African heritage pops can live. This is interesting. I really thought Louisiana got, I really thought I had been more careful to check this one out, because I thought I made a little mistake with the ethnic makeup of Louisiana here. Alright, so let me see what's available in my releasables. Let me see, I got New Africa, obviously. I can release Jamaica only. I can release the West Indies. I can release Jamaica and the West Indies as the West Indies. Well, they'll turn into the West Indies eventually. And we'll just pass them the Bahamas, and that'll be fine. So I want this country to be... Does it really matter whether the country is Jamaica or the Bahamas? I'm not sure. So pass Jamaica. So you get released, and then I'm going to pass... I'm going to reduce subject payments, and then I'm going to grant the Bahamas to you. And that'll be fine. So, imperialism achieved. We have successfully navigated the post-war situation with style and ease. So, I'm going to go ahead and start damaging relations with Britain. I think once the time comes, we're going to want to grab the rest of this territory, and we'll look forward to invading French Guyana as soon as we can. Now, what is this? This is a reactionary revolt in Hamburg. I don't care about that. Taming Amazonia. Currently in our possession are vast tracts of pristine, undeveloped Amazonian lands. While some laud its wild beauty, others see naught but an untamed frontier overflowing with rubber, longing for the gentle touch of progress and capital. Take this down. We stand upon the edge of what could be the very lungs of the planet itself. The terrible wonders that might be inside are ours to behold, to conquer, and to subjugate. As darkest Africa has yielded to... sir, I believe I forgot my pen. Perhaps I could dictate when we return to camp? Imbecile! Bah! Use mine. Now for the top, and do not interrupt. Fortune smiles upon the brave, and spits on the coward. So this adds the exploiting the Amazon event. This basically means if we can build up... It means that we can build up this territory. We can hit this button once we've got a level 2 urban center and 10 levels of rubber plantations. And that will... This will slowly reduce the Amazon rainforest's malices and make the state easier to rule overall. So the population here is primarily Afro-Caribbean. Anglophone and African heritage, okay. But they've got a lot of Welsh and English here as well. Interesting. So this is a predominantly European territory. I might end up passing this area to Venezuela. We'll see. But for now... there are gold mines to build. And rubber plantations. We're going to want rubber plantations. Let's throw the gold mines in at the top of the queue. And now we'll unpause government construction. That'll obviously cost us a pretty penny. Alright, cross-border investments. American industrialists are interested in making investments in neighboring Louisianan industries. He stood up, put on his hat, and headed towards the door. At first it seemed he would leave without another word, but then he turned around and spoke with barely suppressed anger. Being accused of lacking patriotism for where I try to make money isn't just an insult. It betrays a complete lack of understanding of how money is made. Do you think I made what I have by thinking provincially? An excellent investment. Louisiana gets increased manufacturing tax income and improves relations, or strong-arm them into investing domestically. Extra manufacturing tax income. I'm going to do the second one. It's going to make them a little salty, but that's okay. I can afford it. Obviously, cash flow is rock solid. I will unpause government construction, a thing I thought I did a second ago, but that I did not do. And we'll see how that impacts my finances. Alright, finances are still okay. Interest is pretty large, but that's alright. IT wants greater autonomy? No. In fact, time to get your national political structure fixed. Let me see. So, nobody wants cultural exclusion except for your intelligentsia. Do it. Do it. They've refused. Interesting. What if I requested something else? Oh, okay. I need to wait a year. Very interesting. Okay, so, my power block situation. We'll take another step towards market unification. I'm on free trade, so I don't think that affects my situation. My cash flow went down. I'm quite curious. But that is what it is, I guess. I would love a little bit more authority. I think, you know, the more I'm looking at it, the more tempting vassalization is for principle number 4. Alemannic mass immigration from France. Wonderful. Oh, I actually don't need to damage relations with Britain all that much at all at this stage. Now, what about the French? We're neutral. Oh my gosh, I did so much aggression that the French are now neutral towards me. Curious. Alliance with Brazil. What an interesting turn of events. We're already in a defensive pact, correct? We are. Is this the right call? I don't know that it is. No. We'll wait. With that said, got a lot of leverage, and it's predicted to increase. But I've been meaning to build up the stuff in Puerto Rico forever. So let's throw the universities at the bottom of the queue. These railways are going to take forever to build. So, I think we'll just go anywhere Brazil has some infrastructure available, which is not a lot of places. And we'll build up... If I recall correctly, the Brazilian market's outstanding characteristics are that it is low on grain. Yes, it for sure is. Ah, banana. Your maize farms are low employment. In Sao Paulo, you've got a little bit of capacity available. Rio de Janeiro? Just a little as well, but they can't hire either. What about Mato Grosso? No, you're totally borked. Curious. Alright, I'm going to throw those in at the top. And I think we'll build a few, and if it gets us there, it gets us there, and if not, we'll have to wait until all of those railways finish out. And then we'll have the leverage we need to pull Brazil into the customs union. Gold depleted in South Dakota. We can't just let them leave. I'm going to queue in some more gold mines. Those will be the first gold mines in South Dakota. And actually, unfortunately, these gold mines in American Guyana are taking too long. New neighbors, new grudges. A minority group of Bulgarians has recently settled in the state of Michigan, seeking a better future. However, the local Yankee elites are stirring up resentment, claiming the Bulgarian newcomers will destroy the traditional way of life. They don't belong here. Our Yankee customs, our way of life, they'll be lost if we let the Bulgarians settle, claimed a prominent landowner. His words echoing in the taverns and markets of Detroit. The newcomers, hopeful but weary, whisper of opportunity but face closed doors and hostile stares. Bulgarian is European heritage Yugoslav. And they must accept their lot. 25% of Bulgarian pops become more radical, 20% of Yankee upper stardom pops become more loyal, reduces their acceptance. What's their acceptance right now? It's going up to second-class citizenship. Let me see, they're sharing a, they're getting 15 from religion, and 60 from sharing the heritage trait. So if they go down by 5, it actually doesn't change things for them. It puts them right at 80, and 80 is the threshold for second-class citizenship. Or for, wait, 60 plus, yeah, it does. It puts them right at 80. Alright, so if I say they must accept their lot, that should be just fine. Oh, they really want an offensive alliance, but Brazil, I don't... Brazil, I'm happy with our current defensive pact. I don't want to allow you unfettered ability to expand in South America. 194. Oh, leverage is decaying. Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Oh, no, it's going up. Never mind. I made a mistake. Alright, so, from here, I think we're just going to try to stay relaxed. Breton mass immigration. I may do a little bit of non-building, but I've obviously got a lot of building I need to do to get the work that I need done so that my economy can continue to grow and my power block can continue to increase in size. Alright, that puts us at 196. Can I get a little extra by doing some silliness? I could just feed them raw cash. I could offer them military assistance. I will do that. Alright, and that will give us the leverage that we need to get where we want to go. And to pull them directly into our power block. And that will be wonderful. Military assistance obviously is costing me a slight increase, but goods for military buildings are very cheap while you're not at war. I'm going to go ahead and grab the Army of Observation and reduce them back down to standard supplies, because this is a significant increase. That's about a 25% chance, a 25% increase in costs, and that's not negligible. No end in sight for the drought in New Hampshire. Don't love that, but it is what it is. Is there any way I can get my petit bourgeois happier so that they'll reduce my interest payments? Not without spending a bunch more in government wages, which I am not going to do, because paying the government is for suckers, I say. Alright, we've started construction of our railways in Brazil, and this is just sensible. We don't actually physically need these to get them into our power block at this time, but it'll be sensible. So, Brazil. Come on in. Predicted cohesion impact minus 21. Now that's interesting. Why would that... Oh, cohesion impact, not leverage impacts. Beautiful. Alright, so, with Brazil in the Pact, they've actually only got 106 prestige, so that does not put us in the top spot. We're trying to get over the Zolvarine. They've got 1412. We've got 1404, though. We're very close. No thank you. I don't want investment rights from you, Hamburg. I will not invest in a hamburger at this time. I know as an American it's hard to hear me say something like, I will not invest in a hamburger, but it's true. And soon, we'll have market unification, and that's going to, in 8 months, we'll have full market unification, and that is going to make this power block into functionally a trade block as well, and that will be very, very useful. I think we'll go to the end of the election, which will be basically at the end of the year, and we will see if President Christian Mixon can hold on to his seat. Actually, what would be really funny... Okay. Hear me out. Can I put... I can. Oh my goodness. It would be really, really funny if Joshua Norton was elected president. So, I think I'm just going to do it for the memes. So he's the new leader of the Petit Bourgeois, which means, I believe, that should make him leader of the Republican Party. And that means that when Christian Mixon's presidency is ended, he's served like, I think 2.5 terms now. So it's been a good, healthy pregnancy. It's been a good, healthy presidency. This is not an MPreg content channel. You know, all my friends say that when I do something like that, I should stop talking about it, but it's much funnier if I don't. So how are my subjects? The party favorites. The wing of the Republican Party, affiliated with the armed forces, has raised complaints about Susan B. Anthony's choice of endorsements, leaving their supporters neglected. I must levy a concern now that it's come to my attention. While Susan Anthony's actions are undoubtedly undoubtedly well-intentioned, the recommendations contained thereof seem to exclude certain members of the party who have demonstrated more than sufficient vigor, goodwill, and surety of purpose. Listen to their concerns and appease the armed forces. Extra moment for the Republicans, Susan B. Anthony gets more popular. Or appeasement, don't they know it was fully intentional? Stronger petite bourgeois, weaker armed forces reduce momentum. I'm going to go with the first one. I don't want to strengthen the petite bourgeoisie really at all. Certainly not at the cost of the armed forces, who are headed up by David Farragut, a very reasonable destroyer. Okay, I'll stop making Hearts of Iron 4 jokes. Rubber Rush. Rubber has been successfully grown in American Ivory Coast. The fragile nature of these trees and their difficult-to-meet conditions make this achievement exceptionally important. The Amazonian rubber monopoly is finally over. Those beautiful trees have decided to grow elsewhere after multiple unsuccessful attempts, those stubborn little things, and now it is our duty to end those greedy tycoons' empires. This place seems to be the most effective. Extra rigorous retraction. Or caution, we don't want to exhaust the soil. Both of these are the same. If I had more rubber-producing territory, they might be different, but they're not. But I do not. Alright, so we're finishing out these railways. Leverage is still high, but I need to be careful. I need to be careful to build their economic dependency on me so that leverage remains high, because that's the goal here. Interesting. I'm going to continue to build up grain production here, but grain production in my market is pretty, well, actually, it's not as solid as it could be. So we'll see. Things are going to get interesting. Alright, let's see if Joshua Norton gets elected. Hey! Excellent. Interesting. The Free Trade Party did not get hardly any votes. Alright, so this makes Joshua Norton, our enlightened royalist, the head of the United States. So, in terms of what we want to do, I think compulsory primary school, women's suffrage, and protected speech are on the docket. So, let's see. Protected speech, most people will be happy with this, except for a lot of folks who will be mad due to, they got authoritarians in charge. I can't go to guaranteed liberties. I guess they're not that enlightened. Well, gosh, Shaggy, I sure wish I didn't have all these authoritarians bumping around, making my government not want guaranteed liberties. What a shame. Could go to colonial exploitation, but I don't actually want that. So let's go to well, if I go to compulsory primary school, is it too much of a betrayal of my market liberal values? No, I don't think so. Alright, obviously this is going to upset the industrialists, but we'll have to live with that. Alright, there's gantry cranes. Wonderful. So that lets us build steamships, which is very nice. Brazil sides with Chile, but over what? Oh, it's a colonial war. All play and no work. General Ulysses Grant's personal habits are starting to get in the way of his role as a general. Ulysses Grant smiles at the officer, exultantly, avidly. His eyes have obviously seen better days. Carefully recumbent on his leather armchair, his voice comes out as rubbery as the material. It's a stressful job, you know. No need to make it even more stressful. Fire him. Or he's too valuable, reduce morale damage. So we'll fire him. Happily, this will reduce the potential for a little problem, which is that I used the picture of Ulysses S. Grant to represent Christian Mixon in the chapter thumbnails for when he's president, as you have no doubtedly seen at this time. So that'll get rid of. What I was going to do, alternatively, if I got Ulysses S. Grant to be president, is I was just going to flip his picture around sideways and have it be backwards Christian Mixon. We'll see. And just gone like, Christian Mixon, Ulysses Grant, same guy? Who knows? Anyway, that is all the time we've got for this episode, my nerds. I have had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I will see you on the other side.